When people typically think of narcolepsy, they'll think of sleep attacks in which a person just unexpectedly falls asleep. Or for people who know a little bit more about narcolepsy, they may think of excessive daytime sleepiness, which is the primary symptom of narcolepsy that causes a person to feel way more tired than most other people. How much more tired are we talking? Well, to answer that question, let's first examine what causes narcolepsy. Narcolepsy is a neurological condition in which the brain cannot produce an adequate supply of a chemical called hypocretin, otherwise known as orexin. Hypocretin is what regulates a person's sleep and wake cycles. With a deficiency of hypocretin, a person cannot sleep appropriately or stay awake appropriately. For a person with narcolepsy, this often means falling asleep at inappropriate times and not being able to sleep at appropriate times, i.e. insomnia. While most people's sleep cycles follow a pattern, people with narcolepsy don't have a pattern. We have chaos. So if a sleep cycle were to look like going through phases 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a person with narcolepsy would be more like 1, 3, 4, 2, 4, 1, 5. There's no order. So we don't get restorative sleep. We don't get the kind of sleep that restores your muscles and improves memory. We don't get the kind of sleep that allows you to function like a normal person. It's kind of like being in a perpetual state of sleep deprivation, because if you can't get the sleep you need, no matter how many hours you're sleeping, you won't be able to, like for me, drive. I don't drive because I'm just too tired. Like even if I can trust that I won't have a sleep attack, I don't trust that my mind won't be too foggy to drive. I get things like brain fog where I can't concentrate in conversations, can't really be present. It's almost like being in a fishbowl. I have sleep attacks, not as often as I used to, but when they happen, they'll be like on the bus, and that can lead to missing stops, which has only happened once, but is still distressing. It's led to falling asleep in meetings that I've been facilitating, and it's kind of embarrassing to be the one leading a meeting and falling asleep on my notes. You know what I mean? So that level of tired can severely impact a person's daily life and is considered a disability for some. Not everybody identifies with that word disability. For some people, it absolutely can be disabling. For other people, they may consider it being chronically ill, but nonetheless, this is a serious chronic illness that can affect a person every day for the rest of their lives. Now, how to describe exactly that level of tired, right? The level of tired that significantly impairs your quality of life? Well, think of it this way. If you were to go 2 or 3 days without sleep, how would you feel? Would it be really hard to concentrate? Would it be really hard to stay awake? Yeah, it would. And that's how we feel every day, because narcolepsy is comparable to going 2 to 3 days without sleep every day. And while some people never go that long without sleep in a lifetime, that's how people like me feel every single day of our lives. For those of you who have never gone that long without sleep, who don't know what that would feel like, allow me to elaborate from my personal experience how it feels a day in the life of a narcoleptic. First of all, I'm never not tired, not for a second in any waking moment of my life. And this has been the case since I was probably pre-adolescent. So around the time I was maybe 11, I think is when it became significantly noticeable that something was wrong with my sleep. And I just have never felt energy ever since. So I don't know what it's like to feel awake, and I don't know what a life without tiredness would be like. And again, when I say tired, I'm talking about something that most people don't feel every day. So my waking life is going from waking up tired to collapsing into a nap out of sheer exhaustion, then waking up tired again and going to bed exhausted. It took me a long time to even understand that there are people who have moments in their day where they're not tired. And I just don't know what that would feel like. I don't even know what the word for that would be, like wakeful maybe, but I just don't know what that's like. And I didn't know there were people who ever feel not tired. It's incomprehensible to me as a person who's lived this way most of my life. The kind of tired I feel is a lot like a headache, a lot like pain. I'm not sure if that's like an accurate way of describing it, but to me, it is a lot like pain. It kind of feels like pain. And as a person with chronic pain as it is, like I have to say, this is comparable. This is absolutely like on the same level. It's just tired. It's such an intense tiredness that it kind of hurts my eyes. Like it feels like my eyes have been drenched in chlorine and are being tightly squeezed. It feels like I have this ever-present, like dull headache. It feels like I have the flu physically, that aching feeling you have when you have the flu. It's like that every day. And I know that it's tiredness because I can't get restorative sleep, and so I can't get rid of it. That's kind of how I can tell that this isn't like something else. This is narcolepsy because my level of tiredness is like being sick. I have to give in to sleep a lot, and it's not because sleep cures it or fixes it in any way. It's because I just physically can't stay awake. Either I push myself too far and I just collapse in exhaustion, or I can work around it. I can plan naps to prevent those sleep attacks, but I'm still like giving up the fight. Like I'm so tired that I have no choice but to sleep. It's not like it works though, because I don't wake up feeling refreshed. Like maybe for 10 minutes I'll feel slightly better, and then that physical discomfort will creep back in and I feel awful. And so a lot of times I don't say like I feel tired, I say I feel uncomfortable, or I don't feel good, I don't feel well. It's beyond tiredness. It's a physical discomfort that can only be relieved, I guess, by knocking the fuck out. And then when I wake up, I go right back to it. The urge to sleep is so great that it does feel like giving up the fight. It does feel like, oh, thank God I can give in, you know? I don't want to sleep. I don't like sleeping. I actually hate sleeping, maybe because I do it so much and it's taken over my life. But there is this kind of satisfaction of, oh, thank God I can give up. I don't know if that makes sense to other people, but for me, the only thing I like about sleep is that I'm giving up the struggle of staying awake. It is a constant effort to stay awake. And actually, because I'm so used to living with this chronic illness, I think I'm pretty good at staying awake, because even though I sleep more than most people and I sleep longer than most people, if they were to feel how I feel on a daily basis, I guarantee they could not stay awake through it. I'm so used to this by now and so conditioned to it, and I've adjusted my lifestyle and my diet and my bedtime and everything around sleep that I can stay awake through circumstances that would knock anyone else out. So it is very much a chronic illness, and I didn't realize that what I feel is not the same as what other people feel when they say they're tired for years, because I don't know any other kind of tired. When other people say they're tired, like they probably feel how I feel when I'm waking up at my highest energy, and that's their most tired. You know what I mean? So when I talk to people who are like parents of newborns who are getting like 4 hours of sleep a night, if that, that's the demographic that can relate to me, because they are so sleep deprived. And while I'm sleeping like 12 hours a night, we're feeling the same thing. We are absolutely on the same level. Narcolepsy is a varied experience across the board, so this is really only my take on what it feels like. And I have to say, more than anything, it's uncomfortable. Being this tired is so insanely uncomfortable, and it may not be the same for other people. I'd be happy to hear your experiences with narcolepsy in the comments if you can relate, or if you have a different experience. Ultimately, that's all I can say for myself personally, and I'd be happy to make more videos about narcolepsy. I know that World Narcolepsy Day is coming up next month. I always look forward to that. I'll probably be making some content around that. Anyway, that about sums it up for me today, and if you'd like to see more comment, please subscribe. Throw me a like or a comment if you liked this video. I will see you all again on Thoughtful Thursday.